In Kenya, I'm a director, I'm a play director, and I had a group of university students. And this time around, we were in Eldoret, Moore University. And after the play, we went back to our hotel in the night. We were tired, and it was not until we got to the hotel that we found out that one of us was missing. And we got frantic. We started looking for him. We went back to the college, he was not there. It was heading on to 10 o'clock. We went to the police station, he was not there. He was nowhere to be found. We went to the hospital, the main hospital, he was not there. We went to clinics, he was not there. We started getting worried. We were just with this guy on stage, what happened to him? Eventually we said the only other place to go is the mortuary. So we went to the mortuary in Eldoret to look for him, and he was not there. So I got very worried as the director and the leader of the group. And we spent a very uneasy night. The next day we were going to Nanyuki. And when we woke up in the morning, not knowing where one of us was, we were really unsettled. Just when we were about to get onto our matatu, the guy shows up. His name is David. He did not want to talk to anyone. He was really angry. And so we left, we got in the matatu, and I sat next to him. And what he told me, I will never forget. He said to me, "You forgot me." And that is what hurt him the most. The fact that we left the college, we were only a crew of 10, and did not notice he was missing. The fact that he stood there waiting for hours, and we didn't notice he was missing until much later on. That is what hurt him the most. And it hurts to be forgotten. I have never forgotten that lesson. And for as long as I've been in leadership, I do my best to make sure that I've made account of everybody and looked at everyone. But we Kenyans have a history of forgetting. We've gotten into the habit of forgetting others without apology, as if they don't count as Kenyans. Our research shows that the number of attacks we've had since Kenya's forces went into Somalia are at least 75. Yeah? Now that's an astounding number. And while our security forces have succeeded in foiling some of the attempted attacks, it's inexcusable that we've forgotten, we get hit so many times, and we are still largely weak and unguarded. It's sad that our leaders forget the most vulnerable while they pursue entitlements. These are harsh truths. We have to look into them. We forget because those who get hit so frequently, those who lose their lives and loved ones in most of the attacks, in most of the explosions, from Twaba to Mandera, Isili to Wajir, Garissa to Baragoy, Eldoret to Kiambaa, they are the less fortunate, they are the less powerful, they are less endowed, and they are less sophisticated, so we forget them. They are already forgotten even before tragedy hits. Now, a human head ends up on the doorsteps of the chairman of the police commission. Forgotten. We've forgotten to ask questions. No identity. As we pursue a head count for Westgate victims and survivors, let us also count our brothers and sisters across Kenya who cry to be remembered, to be protected, and to mean something to us. We mourn the loss of friends, family, country folk, and at the Westgate Mall. Their loss is devastating, and it is a devastating price they have paid for our newfound sense of national unity. This unity is precious, very real, and exceedingly delicate. Now we get in trouble. It has come to us as a result of exceedingly harsh realities of loss. Loved ones brutally murdered, brutally butchered while buying milk, getting a hairdo, out on a date, purchasing a gift, simply enjoying the fruits of thriving. And after this heart-wrenching loss, we start the search for truth. Now this is what happens when we start the search for truth as human beings. We begin to shake. Whatever little unity we had, that delicate unity, it begins to shake when we start to search for truth. Now let us not lose this unity while in the difficult throes of seeking truth. Also, let us not discard our search for truth out of fear of losing our delicate unity. For a country that's already anemic with unresolved histories, we need both truth that leads to justice, and we need unity that leads to prosperity. We need both truth and unity as desperately as our injured at the Westgate Mall have needed life-giving blood. Somehow we have to navigate through this delicate balance and win as one. We now have a symbol that weaves our common bond. Hashtag we are one. If you all saw those posters, they had hashtag we are one. A lot of us who are on social media have hashtag we are one. Guard this symbol. Guard it even when voices of cynicism rise against it with hashtag we are wondering. Guard it even while we begin to see a relapse into ethnic hatred and the drawing of partisan daggers. Guard it even while the tide of forgetting is already drowning our resolve to reconcile across color, across class, and across creed. Suddenly we discover our neighbors, the Patels, the Singhs, and we see how much work they have done, and our other brothers and sisters, we discover Kenya is multicultural. Let us not lose this unity. Guard hashtag we are one passionately, even while boardroom mafia and blogosphere hitmen arise to divide us and rule through color schemes, blatant lies, and propaganda. Guard this unity. We are one is really the reason we are gathering here together. And it must mean something to us beyond a social media connection. Our symbols encase ideals. They have power to activate in our minds the greatness we are capable of. Now we can either choose to dismantle them and forget the best of them, or we can choose to use them to empower us. Just as the president plucked those lions off of the coat of arms and bid them breathe courage and invincibility into us, the same way we should pluck that symbol of hashtag we are one from off of our social media pages and bid it create a bond of commonness in us. It's got to come alive. We cannot let it go while we seek truth. Without this common bond, only a few of us prosper. The many languish in poverty, and discontent builds up to the next shattering crisis. We cannot afford to continue feeding this cycle of imbalance. Westgate is a wake-up call to us to remember those we have forgotten, to see those we have fenced off, to recognize the dignity and worth in the least of us. Westgate is our reminder that there is plenty within our borders, and no one has to be left behind in the cold, hungry, and irrelevant. Indeed, plenty is all the news we hear these days. Plenty of water in Turkana, underground, plenty of oil. These things are found among the forgotten, and these are the things that are going to green our land and move our industry. We don't have a choice but to thrive. We don't have a choice. It's what we've been called to. Westgate is also a reminder that Kenya is a member of the global family, one fighting a global enemy. We remain the primary shapers of our own destiny thought. Our unity is in our hands. Our hearts are warmed by the countries that have condoled with us and offered help, including America. And we want to thank our friends in America and the President Obama, who offered help and condolences. These are all our global friends. It's evident among our diaspora family that we have taken up this call of unity, born of pain and loss, to empower us. From vigils in Seattle, Minnesota, Texas, Boston, Washington, D.C., and others to come, we are one with our sisters and brothers in Kenya. I have nothing but immense gratitude for the people who come together to create these vigils. Ali Badawi, Humphrey One Mike, and everybody else that comes together. And what we owe you, we who call ourselves diaspora leaders, we owe you organizations that can make your work easier. We owe you that, and we will rise up to that. Finally, I'd like to say that it's at the height of rejection that you trumpet your beauty. A lot of times when you're rejected, you want to hide and you become depressed. No, it is at that time that you trumpet your beauty. The U.S. has issued a travel advisory against Kenya. It's their responsibility to tell their citizens where it's safe to go and where it's not to. But I got to tell you this, American friends, Kenya is still very much visitable. Very much visitable. And trust me, this is not a lie. We are telling our American friends, family, and yes, country folk, because a lot of Kenyans here are also Americans. Come to Kenya. Book your flight tomorrow. Tonight, he said. The people of Kenya are still as warm and welcoming. The land as beautiful. The food as exquisite. The ocean, the savannah, and the star-studded skies are all still as magical as ever. This is still a must-visit destination. You hear me, America? Kenya is still a must-visit destination. Come! Karibuni, thank you very much. Oh, I see my sister here. I think she just flew in from New York. Karibu. Thank you very much.
Give me your hands, please.
Mkwasi. Come on, people. Come on.
Hey, Anna.
We need to guard the truth. We need to guard. We are one.